If you're looking for a DIY project with serious bang for your buck, peel and stick wallpaper is the answer. First, check your packaging to ensure you have enough rolls for your wall size. Next, clear the area and give your walls and baseboards a deep clean. My wallpaper was 18 inches wide, so I used the edge of a door frame as my guide to keep the first run straight. I used a yardstick to mark exactly 18 inches out from that frame to know exactly where my paper needed to lay. Starting at the top, peel the backing off and work your way down, smoothing as you go. I actually used a dough cutter to spread the paper and remove air bubbles. It works just as well as professional tools. When you reach a switch, use a box knife to carefully cut around it. For safety, turn the power off to the outlets first so there's no danger of catching a little electricity with your blade. Once you reach the bottom, press the paper firmly into the baseboard and trim the excess with your knife. With a large print like this, matching the pattern is key. It can be a bit of a piece job, so don't throw away your scraps. I stuck leftover pieces to the wall to use later for those small gaps over doors where I didn't need a full sheet but still needed a perfect match. Trimming around specific areas like my pantry door was surprisingly easy and fast. This project perfectly complemented my existing paint and yellow window treatments. It completely brightened the room, and my whole family loves it.
You're never going to use wallpaper again after you see how easy this DIY is. I started by wiping the walls in our RV with TSP, but you can do this project on any type of walls. And then I wiped them dry, and I opened up some leftover paint from our bathroom. It's called Calder Green from Benjamin Moore. I tried using a foam roller to apply the paint directly to a stamp, but it was too much paint, so then I tested it out by rolling the paint on a piece of paper and pressing the stamp into it, and that worked really well. You want to make sure you have a very thin layer of paint. The paper was a bit thin, so I ended up switching to a plastic plate, and I would roll out a thin layer and press the stamp into the paint and then press it on the wall. I altered between 3 different dinosaur stamps, and I stamped them with the paint all throughout my son's bunk nook in our RV, but this could be a fun project for any room or wall in your home. It's way more cost effective than wallpaper, and it turned out super well. Here is the final look of our painted stamp wall. I can't believe this was all from a stamp. What do you think? Would you give this one a try? I hope this inspires you to get creative with paint and stamps.
I wanted to create a dimensional wood wall with various shades of color to fill this space. Rather than spending time cutting pieces of wood, I decided to use wood shims for my project. I used both long and short shims because I didn't want my textured wall to be uniform. I stained the wood shims using a water-based stain. This has less odor than an oil-based one. The color I chose was antique walnut. I got to work staining my wood pieces using a paper towel at first, but then switched to a rag because it ultimately worked much better for me and didn't fall apart the way the paper did. I stained the shims in varying degrees, some with just 1 light coat and others with up to 7 coats to make them nice and dark. I started attaching the stained wood shims to the wall using construction adhesive. I found it best to first place the long pieces in a random pattern on the wall, and then overlay these with the shorter pieces. This way, I was building up the wall dimensionally as well as varying the color throughout. I worked my way up the wall, stopping a few times along the way to stain more shims. I really used a lot more shims than I originally expected. It was easy and fun putting these on the wall. It really felt like creating my own art masterpiece. There were some gaps between the pieces, and so I had to cover these with smaller pieces at the end. When it came to the light switch on the wall, I just worked right up to the switch, and then the wall was done. I love the way it looks. I'm still deciding if I want to just leave the wall the way it is, or if I want to put a piece of framed artwork over it. So, for 2 days worth of work and about $120 in materials, I was able to transform this wall into something that I really love. I wanted to update this condo bedroom on a budget and in one day. I love the way picture frame moldings look, and I started by taping off a general idea of where molding would go and what the picture frame boxes would look like. I wanted mitered corners, so I set the saw at a 45-degree angle and started cutting my pieces. When I cut the corresponding pieces, like the two sides or the top and bottom, I stacked the pieces together and cut them together so that their sizes were truly identical. I had marked the wall with a pencil where my pieces needed to go, so the next step was to apply my adhesive on the back side of the molding and attach it to the wall, using a level to make sure that everything was straight. I would recommend not adding too much adhesive so that it doesn't get all over the wall when you end up pushing the molding onto the wall itself. I did have a spot where I had to go around an outlet. In this area, I just made straight cuts at the top and bottom of the outlet area. I also made sure that my mitered corners were as tight as possible, and they really did go together very well, and any small gap was filled with some caulking in the next step. I started caulking the places where the molding met the wall to cover up that small gap and give it a professional finish. I caulked it on the inside and outside of all of the picture frame sections. Sometimes the caulking goes on perfectly smoothly, but sometimes it just doesn't. Either way, all I did was run my finger along the area to smooth down the caulking. Once I had the molding in place, it was ready for paint. We ended up with this dark gray with a bit of purple undertone. I used a Wagner paint sprayer that I had received from another project, and I was able to get this wall painted incredibly fast as a result. In this room, I also replaced the flooring and added nice big baseboards. And here's the result. I love the way the furniture sits in relation to the picture frame molding, and I love the way the accent wall makes the room look. Most of all, I love that I did it myself and that it cost under $50. I hope that this inspired you to create an accent wall of your own. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and see you next time.